What's up? Tim Sykes here with the brothers Chris and Evan Schunk, amazing students turned master traders. And now, just in case you're keeping track at home, their profits keep going. Some of you are a little confused. What are your profits at right now?
4.3 million career profits and 2.2 million on the year.
Halfway through the year.
Yes.
Career profits, year-to-date profits.
Career profits 2.2 mil. On the year 730K.
High five! That's amazing. Okay, these guys are crushing it. Understand your enemy. They are short sellers. Okay, look into their eyes. They want failure. They want America to fail. I'm kidding. I used to be a short seller. It's fine. I can make that joke. You can't. Some people go long. Some people go short. You have to understand there's so much volatility in trading penny stocks. As I always say, we appreciate the short sellers and their sacrifice because it's these guys and people like them that create so many great squeezes. Although most of these stocks do fade, so they're not fundamentally wrong. In fact, they're fundamentally right to short. Have you tried going long, and do you enjoy going short and being evil more?
I tried a long strategy maybe a month ago. I did it for a couple weeks, and I hated it so much I stopped.
Have you tried going long?
We tried doing a long pattern, and we didn't like it at all. The win rate is horrible.
Look, it happens. So going long penny stocks, mind you, CYN, as we're filming this, is squeezing. I bought this in the 9s. I sold it in the high 9s. It's now in the 14s. It's squeezing like crazy. I listened to a freaking one of your kind in my chat room. And like, they're not really working with NVIDIA. And I was like, yeah, they're probably not. But now it's squeezing. So this is the thing. This is literally a perfect squeeze on CYN. A lot of these companies will go down. They will fade. If you hold them too long, you're going to be in like this gradual cycle where they just crash. It is going to the 15s. You called it a few minutes ago. Sorry, we're trading here, so we're like going to be doing double time. Some plays squeeze, most of them fail. So these guys are right that the majority of the plays they get in are going to go down. The problem is if they choose the wrong stock to short, the squeezes can be ridiculous. Just, Evan, give them an example of a squeeze that was ridiculous. There was a ticker that starts with a B.
Oh, B-Talk. I got caught in a 300% move in maybe 10 seconds. 2 seconds was like...
We both got caught.
Except
How did that feel?
It was horrible. And luckily, it was terrible. Luckily, I was asleep. I would have lost more money.
So we'll get to that in a second. What happened on BTOG? How much did you lose? What do you take away from it?
I lost $250,000. I take away that pre-market is incredibly dangerous and you need to be downsized tremendously to...
Hold this for a second. I got to screenshot this. It's too good.
Yeah, you got to be downsized tremendously to avoid catastrophicness in the pre-market because you can risk your whole career.
And what are you doing from now on? What did you learn?
It was also a China stock, and I'll never trade China stocks again.
Wow. Okay. Let's see. What did you learn from BTOG?
I don't trade size in pre-market anymore. I was doing that for a while, but I think I trade 20% size now of what I used to trade in pre-market.
But you're still making enough money to make up for it.
Yeah. Fortunately, I made a lot in pre-market, so now 20% of the bankroll I use is plenty. But there's no more compounding growth like before.
So this is part of the reason why I don't short sell anymore. Not because it's not profitable, but I want you guys to understand that these guys are having like a record year, a record month. They're crushing it. But at the same time, they've been doing it for many years, and even they get caught in some of these squeezes that can just wipe you out. BTO was like a quarter of your profits or a third of your profits.
Half of my profits on
half your yearly profits.
50%. Actually, 55%.
55% in a few seconds.
Yes. Yeah, it was awful. I had depression sleep for 2 days. I couldn't even walk.
I couldn't get him on the phone for like 2 days.
But then you learn from it. And this is the thing. If you ever make a mistake, if you are a short seller and you have that situation happen to you, it should teach you that you can be wrong. And that's why it's good to trade cowardly, like I say. Even if you're long, let's say you get caught in an offering, you lose a lot, something happens, war breaks out somewhere. These are things that you have to learn from. People wonder why I trade so cowardly. Like I sold CYN already like $5 a share too early today. Like I locked in small profits, but I trade so cowardly. And as a teacher, I'm proud to trade cowardly. I'm proud of my students to trade more aggressively. I'm not, telling them to trade aggressively. They're doing that. What am I always saying about your aggression level?
Yeah, you always tell me to size down so much, and then I listen to you, and then I get sad that I downsized.
They're saying because they listen to their teacher sometimes that it's good to trade cowardly, and then they don't make as much as they want to make. But I'm also protecting you from the giant risks. This is what's so difficult. And I know many of you just starting trading, you don't understand this. Like long shorts, making millions, stress. Like it doesn't make sense. If you have been trading for a while, it makes sense. If you haven't, just keep listening to what they're saying. I'm going to post links with both of them with interviews. I did interviews with you guys like several times along the way. And it's cool to see the progression. Right now, this is a record month for you, right?
It was until my record career loss 2 days ago.
I had a winery and we were drinking,
There was no service on that bus.
There's no service on the bus. This guy, how much did you lose?
$280K.
Oh my god.
But you also told me that you were covering at the winery and you weren't.
I covered some. No, the biggest loss was during the bus ride when I lost service and I couldn't see what was going on, and luckily I had a friend. I have a bot, and the bot failed, and I luckily was warning a friend of mine, I'm losing service. Just back me up if it hits the stop, and it did, and it failed, and he had to get me out manually.
Wow.
And that's the thing. Like you guys wonder why I always carry my laptop around, like laptop lifestyle. Like if you're trading these things, you have to pay attention. Whether it's your laptop, whether it's your smartphone, you can't just let stuff go, whether it's with bots, whether it's with stops. Really like keep an eye on these things. We're only talking about their big losses, but they only have a few big losses. The rest of the time, they're winning. Like what's your winning percentage?
It's in the mid 70s.
70% plus. What's your winning percentage?
Mid 70s.
Right? So think about that. They're winning the majority of the time. We're talking about their big losses, but most of the time, these things just fade. They will do offerings. Like I'm watching CYN right now squeeze, but there's another big spiker pre-market, ASTI, which is just fading gradually, and that one probably will keep fading. Why are you guys not short ASTI?
I didn't look at it. It didn't show up on my scans. Probably float or something like that.
Low float.
Was it
Low float.
I think it was too low of a float. It's dangerous.
So this is another thing. Even though they're banking and they're shorting nonstop pretty much, they're watching out for China plays and they're watching out for low flow plays. Coincidentally, or conversely, not so coincidentally, the best longs are Chinese stocks and low floats, the ones that the shorts are scared from. So even if you don't short sell, I know some of you guys don't want to hear from short sellers. You're like, it doesn't matter, it doesn't apply. It's good to learn both sides of the market. About a third of my early video lessons are short selling based. I made millions shorting. I still think it's good to learn shorting because even if you're going long, right now the number one catalyst for stock spiking, short squeezes. And, these guys are pretty responsible, but there are some short sellers out there who are not. And we thank them for their lack of responsibility, right? Like, do you guys know some irresponsible shorts? We don't need any names, but can you think of some?
We've had some in our lives. We've known some people. Yeah. That just add.
My buddy,
We don't need names.
Come on. Throw him under the bus. What if he watches this?
Dude, I literally gave the disclaimer, no names. He's like, my buddy. I thank you for your sacrifice. I thank you for being so irresponsible. That's amazing. Thank you. We'll beep it out. We don't need to say names, okay? We can beep it out. But it's just funny that literally, like you said, like I was like, no names.
I'm trying to cover a position.
Are you getting squeezed right now?
No, I'm getting out. I'm taking profit.
Anyways, there are some irresponsible shorts out there, and they create these great squeezes. These guys are banking, but they're still trying to be responsible, probably because their teacher is such a coward. What do you guys think of my cowardly teachings?
No, I think it's good. I think it's better to be too scared than to be not scared enough if you had to choose. And you can get too scared and then start working your way to being more aggressive, but I think that's way better than starting too aggressive.
Because guess what? If you start too aggressive, or even if you're in the middle of being too aggressive, you blow up. And when you blow up, you can't trade. You got zero money. Sometimes you go negative. Let's not forget, short selling, you can lose more than you put in. So it's not like you're necessarily going to lose infinity, but you're going to have a $20, $30, $50, $100,000 account. And because the squeeze is so much, you owe your broker $200,000, $500,000, $1 million. I know, no names, but I know one short seller, one bad short sized in, wiped out a decade of hard work in literally one day. And the stock came all the way back down after the broker forced to cover him in. This is the thing. Some people say, well, if these things are always going to fade, why don't you just keep adding? Because sometimes when you don't have enough capital, the broker is going to cover you. And you don't want to be covered by the broker because they don't care what you're getting out at. They just want out. Has that ever happened to you? Have you gotten a margin call?
Never had a margin call.
No.
Famous last words. So you just have to be careful as a short seller. But as a long, look at these two. Look at... Okay, we'll beep the name out. Don't worry.
It's going to sound like his name's a cuss word.
Yeah, it is a cuss word, right? You got. We know some shorts where their name turns into a verb, okay? I'm not saying any names, but I can think of two short sellers where their name is turned into a verb, right? Yeah. And you got kind of thing. So we don't need to get rid of these short sellers. We love them. Just like the promoters of old. Promoters used to think like I hated them. They're like, why are you always calling us out? I appreciate them, right? Like we need anything that moves these stocks up and down. You need volatility as a trader. So I wish there were more promoters right now. You know, did you guys ever short promotions?
The closest thing we did was shorting the guy, the long pumper. No, we never really shorted promotions.
When I got into in 2018, promotions were pretty much dead at that point.
So promotions used to be like the best place for me to buy, because literally at the bottom of the email or the bottom of the text message, it would say like, we've been compensated X number of shares or X amount of dollars for like a 2 or 3 week promotion. You could literally point on the calendar the day that the promotion was going to end. It was so easy. But the promoters are gone, so now we just have you guys. So thank you for you and your kind. Thank you for your sacrifice. Congrats on your success. They're not even sacrificing that much, so they get a little stressed, so they lose a few $100,000. Oh, no Wi-Fi in the bus. Let me go to the winery. Oh, I'm sleeping while my butt does all the work, okay? It's good lessons for them too, and it's good lessons for you. Understand short selling is a strategy that works the majority of the time, but you have to be careful of those black swans. And for them, it's these low float plays, it's these Chinese plays. You don't know how far they're going to go. We saw HKD go into the thousands. Now we saw RGC. Did you guys short RGC?
I don't think so. No. I remember that one. We didn't. No.
Yeah, and also there's short sellers. You can do it as much as you want to avoid a low float or China. But regardless, even that, there is still that chance of an outlier coming. It could be a 30 million float and squeeze 500% and you're dead.
There was one the other day. It was like a 30 million float and it did 400% or something in a few
You
seconds.
can try to reduce them, but at the end of the day, there's still that outlier factor of you got to be careful because it could be anything.
So that's always the risk. Again, I'm not short selling at all right now as a newbie. I don't think you should short sell at all. I think it's good to buy these short squeeze stocks. I think that's the best strategy for newbies. If you want to try on your own, by all means, do it on your own. But as a newbie, which is, I mainly teach newbies, I don't think it's good risk reward. Even these guys with years of experience and now millions of dollars in their accounts, even they can get blown out. So if you don't have years of experience, you don't have millions in your account, you're probably going to get blown out in a bad way. And then you're going to be like, oh, now I see why Tim warns about that. So stay safe, but also thank them for their sacrifice. Thank them for their strategy. Thank their kind. This is what we got to do. We got to thank them. I used to tell promoters I would send them some edible arrangements, like some fruits to get their vitamin levels up. The promoters did a lot of coke, so short sellers just pay, for borrows. So different kinds of addictions. But, I'm not going to say I'm going to pay for some of your borrows because I know they can be expensive, but I'll send you guys some edible arrangements too, So thank you guys for tuning in. Click some links below. Learn about short selling, the dangers, the rewards. These guys will keep going, and let's hope that they stay safe and they don't up.